Alright, so here's the deal. I'm going to try to make this video pretty time efficient, but as you can see, I'm draining the coolant over there. The valve cover has a bunch of bad things going on in it. When I took the drain plug out just a little bit, water came out, so that explains exactly why my radiator was under so much pressure and it's overflowing all the time. I don't know why it just randomly decided to blow a head gasket. Maybe it was because of the exhaust that I put on having more back pressure. I'm not really sure, but that's probably more than likely the reason why it keeps wiping a lifter. I think it wiped one again and I shut it off, and I'm glad I did because there's water in it. So I'm going to pull this intake off and then pull all the rockers off. Alright, so I got all that stuff apart. Now I'm going to take the head bolts off, since everything's out of the way pretty much, and then I'm going to pull the head off. Alright, so I think I see the problem right here. That might have been where it was leaking out of. You can see the rust right next to the coolant passage. But it could have been any of these, you know. You never know about which one it is. But I do know that it is not right. And the pistons actually don't look all that bad. Like, the cylinder walls are not tore up a lot and stuff like that from the rebuild, considering I didn't put piston rings in it because I hadn't ordered them. So yeah, I mean, it's doing pretty good. It's not burning that much oil. These front two cylinders for some reason burn a lot more oil than the rest of them, but you know. Alright, so I did a little bit of extra porting since the head is out, and I cleaned this up, and I ended up taking it to the machine shop because there was blue head gasket residue on the outsides, like this area and this area, but not on the inside. So I went ahead and got it resurfaced, and you can see it's really pretty. They actually had to take off 18 thousandths, so that's quite a significant amount of metal that they had to take off. And they said $60, and he wanted to change it to 100 because he had to take off 18 thousandths, but I was like, hell no. So I ended up getting my head shaved 18 thousandths for 60 bucks. So now I'm going to really have to check my push rod length. And if that's good, then I won't have any problems. But yeah, I'm going to go ahead and get this sucker cleaned up, get the metal out of it. You can see the exhaust got trimmed down a lot. I'll show you how much, how much metal is in there. Probably hard to see, but there's a bunch of metal in there because I took off a bunch because I looked at the what the exhaust port looks like, and now you can see it's real opened up, so that's good. And I'm gonna go ahead and clean it up. Alright, so I just got done sanding down the cam with this little guy. I JB welded it onto the lifter and then cut off the access, and I just put a new bit of JB weld because that actually flattened the cam out pretty good. I don't know whether cams are actually supposed to be flat or what, but all I know is that cam keeps wiping that same lifter, so it's obviously junk, so it's worth it to try. And I found another cam that's really good. It's got a low intake duration but a high exhaust duration. It's a 224, 234 cam with quite a bit more lift than what I have right now, about 50 thousandths and 70 thousandths. So that's going to be good, but I'm just going to try to get this to work for now so I don't have to spend another week or 2 or 3 waiting for the cam. So yeah, now I'm going to go ahead and put this in this vise right here and show you when I'm done. Here's what it looks like in the vise. Alright, so here's what the lifter looks like that I prepped up. This is the 320 grit version. I just did the 120 and it smoothed out the cam pretty good. It was kind of centered high in the middle, and now I'm going to put this back in there and show you what it looks like. This is on my 3rd round. I'm going to go one more after this one, but basically just put that in there. And keep in mind, guys, this is not like something that I will recommend, but if it works for now, because I'm going to get a new cam eventually. Alright, go ahead. That's good. Alright, so here's another look at the cylinder head. And here's the head, or the cylinder head gasket, all port matched. Doesn't look like it's on there, but it is. I've got it RTV'd on there to make it easier. I port matched it, and it's looking pretty sweet. Another look at the comp valve springs and keepers. And I'm going to go ahead and put these little guides in, put the head gasket on, clean the block, and then put it on. Alright, so I just block sanded the block, and it looks pretty. And now I'm going to just show you how easy it is to turn over this motor now with the cam out of it. It's pretty easy. So, yeah, the lifter I ended up doing a pretty good job at. I don't know how well you can see that. It's pretty smooth. It's not the best. Here's another one. I can't really tell the difference. Honestly, that one's got a lot of oil on it right there, but hopefully I bought some $20 break-in oil additive stuff that I've never used and never had a problem for 2,000 miles, and then all of a sudden now this keeps happening. But that should have deburred whatever's cutting up the lifter. I did see a scratch going through the sandpaper on that 320 grit, so it was definitely cutting the lifter through whatever burr that was making those scratches. So that's all smoothed out hopefully, and I'll just put that zinc in and hopefully it won't, you know, chew up a lifter again. Alright, so I got the cylinder head on and the manifolds on, and I went ahead and clearanced right here because it was touching. That's what all the shavings are. I went ahead and bought some zinc additive, which I've never ran this before, I'll admit. So that's new to me. I went ahead and put it on the cam lobe where that lifter is, just to kind of get it on there faster. I just hand tightened this, and it's on there, hand tightened. It stopped right there. So I'm going to show you that I have the right lifter preload. It's supposed to be 1 to 2 turns. So 1, and then it goes a little bit further. And the other ones are all like 1 1/4 and stuff like that. So it starts probably getting higher in the middle, or less of a preload in the middle, because of the fact that the head was warped 18 thousandths, which the max is 7 thousandths. But yeah, I'm gonna go ahead and get all these torqued to spec because I know my lifter or my push rod length is right, and then I'll be good to go. Alright, so I got everything back together. Got the coolant filled, got the oil filled. Now I'm gonna do a startup and show you, and then I'm going to do 2,000 RPM until it warms up, and then I'm going to let it cool down and then do that one more time, and then I'm going to take it for a drive. So, okay, here we go. We're going to need it. Alright, here's pretty much the 50-mile mark. It's not ticking. You can hear I've got the oxygen sensor out because of this stupid oxygen sensor thing. So it sounds like a tractor. The head shave, how I shaved the head, that really gave it a lot more torque. Like when I rev it up, it twists the whole truck a lot more. So that's good, and it's not giving me any problems. And I'm going to upload a video on these cool train horns. They're pretty loud. So thanks for watching.